Hey guys, today in conjunction with section 9.3, we're also going to talk about Venn diagrams. So this is something that I feel like gets kind of cut out of our math curriculum, but it's something in that it's important and it's a good thing to talk about. So I have 6 little Venn diagrams that we're going to practice. I'll probably give you a couple to do with tonight's homework, but I just wanted to go over some basics. So I'm assuming you know nothing. If you know some things about Venn diagrams, awesome, but I'm assuming that you know nothing right now. Okay, so what we have is I have a circle called A and a circle called B. Everything in each circle is part of that category. It means it's true, it's a successful statement, whatever you want to call it. If I have a symbol like this guy right here, it's like an A without a line in it. That is called your and symbol. I know that there's a bigger, fancier vocabulary word, but for the sake of how simply we're just going to do Venn diagrams, all you have to know is that means and. So if I say A and B, I want us to shade in everything that's true for what's in A and B. So if it's only in A, it doesn't count. If it's only in B, it doesn't count. If it's in both A and B, then I get to shade it in, which means that I'm going to shade in this part right here. Okay, right in the middle. Perfect, and that's a very classic looking Venn diagram. All right, next, scroll over here. I've got A and B again, but I've got what looks like a U or like a rounded V or something like that. This is called the or. So as long as it's in A or it's in B, then it's true. It does not have to be in both. As long as it's in one or the other or both of them together, then it is a true statement. It works. It's like if I'm drawing cards and I say, it's okay if you draw a king or a queen, like that's fine. So if I got a queen, that's okay. And if I got a king, that's okay. So again, I'm going to shade everything that's in A circle and B. So everything in here, all of A and the overlap and all of B. So all of this stuff in all of them works. Okay. Now I've got A with a line over it. If you remember from geometry, we did P's and Q's, and we had P, and then we had this like squiggly P, this squiggly in geometry in our truth tables, and then this line over A mean the same thing. They mean not. They mean like everything that's not in those sections. So I wanted like not P, and now I want everything that's not in A. So we can shade every single thing on this picture that's not in A. Essentially, I'm shading everything but this circle right here. So I'm like shading that now right now to show myself I want everything else but that. And now I'm going to go back with my red pencil and shade everything else. So I'm shading up here, down and around on the outside. I'm going to get into B as well. I'm going to go back around here. And then everything all the way to the corner. And then I'm going to erase that shade that I had at the beginning that told myself I was not going to shade there. So only the circle A is what's not shaded. Okay. Using that same concept as the knot, we're going to go to do a couple of the knots that we did above. So like for number 1, I said A and B. Let me scroll out so you can see both of them. I said A and B, and then we just shaded that little bit that's in both A and B. Well, if I have a big line over A and B, then I want not A and B. So literally not everything that I shaded above. So I'm going to go back through and I'm going to take off, or I'm essentially just going to shade everything but that little bit that I had originally shaded. Again, I'm going to kind of pre-draw this. So that's the part that I don't want shaded at the end. Literally everything else is going to be shaded. So from the corner all the way through. I'm not a great colorer. Hopefully yours looks nicer and prettier. All of this. And then when I erase that little piece, it's just the middle that was not shaded. So not A and B. Everything that's not A and B gets to work here. Similar idea, number 5 is just like number 2, but we're doing not. So now we're doing not A or B. So not what we did above. Before, I shaded everything in both A and B circles. Now I want everything outside of those circles. So I'm essentially shading all of the area outside of those 2 joint circles together. So all the way, not getting inside, of my circle. You could use the actual highlighter on your Notability, or if you're doing paper pencil, you can use an actual highlighter or marker, that's fine. But this shows me that everything works except for what's in A and B, or A or B. And then the last one says A or not B. So A or not B. So basically I want to shade everything that's in A and everything that's not in B. So what works as A or not B? Okay, well, all of A works. So anything that's in A works. So I'm going to shade all of A. I know that we've got that little bit of an overlap, but it says all of A. So I'm going all of A. A works. Anything that's in A works. And then it says not B. So now I'm going to shade everything that's not in B. So I'm not going to do this part in here. It's kind of like weird moon section right there. I'm going to shade everything on the outside. Everything out here gets to be shaded. And then in a second, when I erase the yellow, then we'll see exactly what is left. Yep. So all of that got to be shaded and everything else had to stay white. All right, so that's your little crash course in Venn diagrams. Look forward to trying that on your homework tonight. And then stay tuned for the next part of section 9.3.